It's 7:33. We will take the roll one more time to make sure everybody's here. Mark?
Robin Bates Mason?
Here.
Rita Bettino?
Here.
Tom Butterworth?
Here.
Mark Jimsky? Here. Steve Carl?
Here.
Luke Kaufman?
Here.
Mike Morrow?
Here.
Maria Naughton?
Here.
Kimberly Norton?
Here.
Hillary Ormond?
Here.
Christina Ross?
Here.
And Penny Young.
All right, we have a quorum. Let's move on. We're on we've done public comment. We're on item number 4, facility lease agreement. Review and approve the facility lease agreement between the town and the Playhouse LLC regarding 89 Elm Street. You have that on your tablets. We've obviously talked about this at length. Are there any questions before we call a vote? Rita.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, and I think we've covered this, but I just want to make sure that we and the public are clear on this. Regarding the name, the Playhouse, there's an opportunity for Cinema Lab to name it JP Morgan Playhouse or any other name besides Playhouse. Like, what is that spelled out in the lease? Is that a possibility?
I suppose, the Playhouse is probably a generic term that we probably can't protect. So you're saying adding something to it. We do have in the lease that the sign has to remain in the front.
Right. No, I saw that, but as it is, like the Playhouse, or
I actually Luke is out. Why don't we ask Luke?
Yeah, Luke wants to answer that.
Yeah.
I can give you my word right now that it will be the Playhouse. It will not be the Smash Burger Playhouse. It will not be any other than the Playhouse. So right. There are naming opportunities, which a lot of the investors are excited about. The 2 auditoriums and seat naming,
okay.
Which will be dealt with elegantly. But certainly it will not be the Macy's Playhouse, I assure you.
Right.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you.
Any other questions, Rita? Do you have anything else?
Well, there was one other question, and this is more in terms of questions that people have asked me, which is people have approached me wanting to potentially invest in this opportunity. And I wanted to just clarify what would be the suggested process.
So who's the point person?
Who would be the point person to give that person?
Well, there's a gentleman in town, Nick Howard.
If I may, oh, sorry. I would, if you want to email me at LPB, as in Luke Parker Bolt, at cinemalab.com. We'd be thrilled to have a conversation. We are down there, up there, sorry. I'm in Montclair, New Jersey. We are up there most Fridays, and would love to have a chat. So LPB at cinemalab.com.
Thank you.
As a former securities lawyer, this is a private offering, so I would just caution, we're not looking to broadcast this to the community.
Yeah.
They are selectively talking to qualified investors.
Right.
So if someone knows a qualified investor, that reference is available.
Yeah, I wanted to make it. I didn't want there to be any indication that we might be only referring certain people, just that people knew that anyone could approach.
Well, usually a qualified investor, someone making an offering has to control their offering. So
right. No, great. No, so I just wanted to make that clear that anyone could approach.
Well, again, I don't think it's for the town council or the board of selectmen or anybody to be out there saying that. He's not looking.
No. I'm just a guy standing in front of a girl asking him to give us money. To quote.
Notting Hill.
Well done.
Good one.
I love that movie.
I have a general question that I don't think has to do with investing, but I noticed this when the lease is signed, $30,000 is due from Cinema Lab. Is there a timeline on the raising of the $1.5 million private funds that would then?
It's in the letter of intent.
So that I've read the letter of intent and then I've read the lease. So how are those intertwined in terms of the lease being signed? How is that related to the timeline on the funding.
Well, the letter of intent says on lease signing, they have to deposit 300,000 in addition to the $30,000 security deposit. That's
Okay.
toward the $1.5 million project expense that they're committing to. And then 3 months after that, they have to confirm I think 3 months after that, they have to confirm that 60% of their funds are raised. And then by the time for signing of the contract, which we anticipate with the contractor to do the work, which we anticipate be October 1st, they have to put up the rest of the money. So that's all in the letter of intent.
So we're
That's
looking
correct.
at like
Security deposit is just the lease security deposit for the duration of the lease.
so it's like a approximately 5-month timeline. I just want to, follow up on, I think it was Mr. Brown. Is that Tom Brown that made some good comments?
Yeah, and that's one of the things I was going to do, Kim, is I know to be fair, I would say that Luke could, if he wants to, have some time to respond to anything he heard in the public comment.
I appreciate that. I would love to, because I think that some clarification needs to be put in there, if I may.
Go ahead.
So just with respect to the lease, that is exactly as Kevin pointed out. The goal is, and we are doing great guns in our fundraising. I probably can't specify how much, but I would say that we are already at the point that we could do our 300,000, and have been for a little bit. With respect to Mr. Brown's comments on the with respect to the Bradley Beach, which he referred to, where he said that we were supposed to be opening in summer 2022. That is not the case. The goal was that we would be opening in December of this year. Unfortunately, and our seats, which we source from Sweden, the metal is from Ukraine. That may sound very convenient, but that is the case. And also with COVID and with everything that's brought with us, supplies are harder to get than we thought. So what we have done in Bradley Beach, and it will be opening on Friday, so as not to deprive anyone of the summer movies, is that we are doing a Bradley Beach pop-up, which is in essence minimal renovations, but allowing people to see these big movies that they deserve to see. So that, to us, that's very important. Without sounding noble, we will not be making a profit on that. It is about the town getting to see the things they wanted to see, and we think that's important. The other comments, trying to think of the ones that were particularly pertinent. The funding, we always start local. I think that's really important to know. That has been something that has been crucial to us, because we do not pretend to know what each town wants. And we also want to be able to gauge if they actually want a theatre there. So predominantly we start with a Kickstarter in each of our theatres that we go to. We did that at Bradley Beach and sold out. It was a small amount of money, but that's a good indicator. With New Canaan, we were greeted with open arms. And I think we have probably had 20, 30, maybe if Nick Howard's in the room, he can say, probably 25 meetings with high net worth individuals who have already made commitments. So with respect to financing, I would thank Mr. Brown for his concern, but I can assure you that is the least of anyone's worries. With respect to alternate programming, of course we are open to, we know what we don't know, right? And so that's the sweet spot. That's why we're doing this alternate programming, which is whether it is golden oldies or whether it is date night films or whether it is, the great thing about the cinema and the frustrating thing about movie theaters is that Mondays and Wednesdays are largely not movie nights. but that does allow us to do specific programming. And we will be listening very, very carefully to the town to see what it is that they're looking for. So the first runs keep a theatre open. And I don't think we've had a single person we've spoken to. I've spoken to a few, spent a bit of time at the Corkscrew place. And that's where you get to hear what people really think. And whether you like it or not.
Uncorked.
It's uncorked.
Uncorked.
Close.
But that could be a new bar.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the name of the playhouse, the Corkscrew.
Yes. Let's rename it. No, but it's very clear that, one of the biggest things that we know from our movie theaters is programming for children, right? Weekends, having the ability to do birthday parties on the top floor and then have the kids have one of the movie theaters to watch a film. Minions is coming out this weekend, the week after it's Thor, and on and on and on. But we're here to be successful. We're not here to play difficult movies. We want as much input as possible. So I hope that allays. I may have missed some of Mr. Brown's other comments, but this is a community we love. Kevin's been amazing in leading us, and Tucker Murphy is frankly our fairy godmother, as I think she is to everyone. But we are here for you guys, and we look also to do partnerships with vendors throughout New Canaan, so all ships rise. I've talked for far too long. The English do that. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you.
Steve, could I just add a couple of things?
Sure.
I've emphasized when I presented this that these fellows are entrepreneurial, right? There are risks in this kind of operation. Most of the people I know in New Canaan make their living based upon risk. So, there are other operators out there. We chose Cinema Lab because it's much more exciting opportunity. The big operators really consider our kind of two-screen cinema kind of marginal profitability. Bowtie was making money. They were not unhappy. They didn't close because they closed because they were redirecting. And as it happened, the owner, who lives in Greenwich, sold half of his theaters to AMC and the other half to the longtime operator of the Bowtie Cinemas. So in that environment, we have to make choices among who would be the best operator. We believe that an entrepreneurial operation that really has the bent that Luke and his team does is an exciting opportunity. Should they fail, we're not joint venture partners here. We're a landlord. We have to get the building back in shape for any operator, and we will reopen this theater, whether it's Cinema Lab or not. So,
but probably Cinema Lab.
Okay, Christina, you had a question?
Yes, I do. In reviewing the lease Article 8.01, the end of that first paragraph, I would like to see added that instead of a 30-day advance notice is provided to the landlord of the expiration of the lease, that it states that the town shall be named as an additional insured. We have had problems as a town in the past where the town has not been notified of an insurance policy lapsing, and there have been problems. So I would suggest that we use the same system or approach.
Yeah.
We could take comments tonight. It's the responsibility of the Board of Selectmen, for selectmen to negotiate and have legal review of the lease. So we'll take, but you guys have to vote on a draft as presented. Yeah. If there's something you want us to consider with our town attorney, we're more than happy to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so, thanks, Christina. It's a good point. Oh, Maria, was that Maria? Oh, Maria has a question. Sorry, Maria, go ahead.
Just about the liquor license, since the business kind of depends on that. What is the process and how long does it take? And in light of the other theater having the liquor license fall through, is there a chance that could happen here? So just some feedback on that.
So, sorry, just to clarify, we haven't had a liquor license fall through. I don't know if that is. We have liquor licenses at our South Orange operation, at our Bradley Beach operation, and at our Canyon City operation.
Oh, I thought that's what Mr. Brown said. I must have.
Where Mr. Brown's research came from, I'm not sure. But
okay.
I can tell you categorically. I could probably bring it up on the screen if need be, but yeah, that is not correct. With respect to the liquor license application, we will do what we have done with all our other liquor license applications, which is apply through the ABC. And you know, we have been successful in that on all those occasions. They do background checks on the partners, not background, I mean fingerprinting and background checks. And that's how it works. And I would just like to bring one thing up really quickly, if I may, Maria, because this has been brought up a little bit, and I want to be clear on this. We have rigorous systems with respect to keeping our ABC licenses. Anyone who comes in to purchase a drink has to have a wristband. Alcoholic drinks are served in a different colored cup from non-alcoholic drinks. And we have security as well, who goes into each of the theaters during each show, just in case, as we have seen, where there is an older person who might be sneaking drinks to younger people. So I just want you guys to know that the liquor license is additive for the town with respect to getting rent, but it is not an area for concern. It's something that we, you know, if we fail on one, then it affects our entire business. So we hold it very, very, very seriously.
So will that be, will the license be in place the same time it opens, or will there be a delay?
No, it'll be, so the goal right now, if everything goes to plan, we will be opening in March. But obviously I will leave that open to suppliers and everything we've experienced. But the liquor license will be in place by that time, and we will have a special opening for the town. So yes.
So, and that was another question, Kevin and Steve. When we looked at the lease last time, if there's alcohol, is there a special alcohol insurance that should be referred to in the lease? Even though I know it was required, but did we refer to that in the lease itself?
You know, I would go back to the notion that the town attorney has reviewed and approved this lease. So if there's anything that you want to point out that we want to have review again, but you know, we are insured by KERMA, which is the mutual insurance company with 160 of the 169 towns in the city in Connecticut, as a result of which we can get any kind of insurance we want or need. And it's extremely beneficial in terms of our pricing. So I'll be happy to look into any insurance aspect, but also, you know, the lease has been approved by the town attorney.
Yeah, I mean, it is in there. You'll find it, but we as operators have to provide insurance as well, and have done with all of our theaters with respect to alcohol.
And Maria, if you remember, we discussed having events like at Waveney or anywhere in town where you're on town land where alcohol is served. You have to have proper insurance when you're doing that as well. So, but we can add that to the list of, you know, Christina's question and that question just to get clarification.
The only thing
the question is, does it need to be explicit? Sorry.
I think it was already added because it was brought up the last time and I reviewed the lease and it did say something about liquor insurance specifically in the new lease.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Kim.
Item F, liquor liability insurance with limits customary for establishments serving alcoholic beverages in Fairfield County, Connecticut, if tenant obtains a license to serve alcoholic beverages. So it's in there.
Great. Thank you. All right, I see Hillary's hand raised. Hillary?
Hi, sorry, just one quick question and then maybe we can vote, which would be great. Mr. Parker Bowles, thanks for being here and thanks for answering all of our questions, our continued questions. I just wanted you to clarify for everyone here, because this point was brought up also by Mr. Brown. Can you clarify or confirm whether any funds raised here for our theater will be used to pay for any other theaters, or whether that will be kept totally separate and used only in New Canaan?
Any money invested into Bradley Lab LLC, which is the holding company, will solely be used for, sorry, not Bradley Lab, sorry. It's been a long day. In the Playhouse LLC will solely be used on the Playhouse. There is no, that's not how we work. There are people who are interested in investing in our Topco, which is Cinema Lab, and that's by the by, and that money trickles down into all of our theaters. But anyone who invests in the Playhouse LLC, that money solely goes to the Playhouse.
Okay, so there will be no quote unquote robbing Peter to pay Paul or anything like that.
No, we don't talk to Peter and we don't talk to Paul.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for clearing that up. I think that's
important. I think these are great questions. I'm really glad that this is what we need. We need to be very, very transparent and very, very clear. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Heather. Anybody else out there want to ask a question? You guys all set? We're going to move to vote. We all ready here? Okay. All right. So we need a motion. Who wants to make a motion?
Well, how do we want to handle this? There's a few items here, right?
Well, we're going to vote on the lease as we go. So
yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the facility lease agreement between the town and the Playhouse LLC regarding 89 Elm Street.
Second. Mike? All in favor? Opposed? Oh, there's all hands up. Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you very much. All right, item number 5. American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA appropriation. Review and approve Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance recommendations for appropriations of $600,000 of ARPA funds for necessary repair and upgrades to the New Canaan Playhouse. Obviously, we've talked about this at length. Mark, if you want to spend a second just to bring us up to speed, but these are the ARPA funds we've been talking about. Originally it was $1 million and we've backed it down to 600. So why don't you just take a second.
The committee, the ARPA committee approved $1 million, and then it made more sense, as Kevin discussed, to finance more and use less ARPA money. So that's how they ended up at $600,000. So
that's correct.
I'll make a motion to approve the Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance recommendations for appropriations of $600,000 of ARPA funds for necessary repair and upgrades of the New Canaan Playhouse.
Luke seconds. All in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you. Item number 6, New Canaan Playhouse project. Review and approval of a capital project in the amount of $1 million for necessary repair and upgrades to the New Canaan Playhouse. We had presentations from Tiger Man and Bill Osman already. Obviously, the building has been in disrepair for a while, and this will steel it up, bring it up to speed. And as far as the resolution, Tucker, do we need to read that resolution below that?
One paragraph.
That one paragraph? All right, so whoever makes the motion can read that paragraph. So who wants to make the motion? Mike.
All right, I'll make the motion for the approval of the resolution authorizing an appropriation of $1 million for the Playhouse Theater 2022 project and the financing of said appropriation by the issuance of general obligation bonds of the town and notes in anticipation of such bonds in an amount not to exceed $1 million.
Second. Rita. All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you very much. I just have a brief statement. So if you bear with me, I just wrote up a quick synopsis. So because I believe this is a historic moment for the town. So with this affirmative vote, the town of New Canaan enters into an agreement that will hopefully change and greatly enhance the profile of our entire downtown. It may take the better part of the year, but when the doors swing open to the Cinema Lab Theater, New Canaan Playhouse, with a refurbished, unique look and feel, it will breathe new life into the downtown community. The promise of first run movies showing again, as well as some other exciting options, is something our town has been looking for since before the pandemic. Other surrounding towns have theaters with nicer seats and beverage service, but this theater is anticipated to take it to the next level with locally sourced food and drinks served in an environment that is unduplicated in our surrounding area and frankly protected by this agreement. It is our hope that it will become a destination for folks to come and visit New Canaan, to dine in our restaurants before and after the shows, and walk Main and Elm to discover our amazing business community has everything that the business community has to offer. The town has studied the New Canaan Playhouse multiple times, hosted forums on the subject, and solicited input every step along the way. One thing has remained consistent over the past decade and it's the resounding desire from this community to maintain the theater in its current location, historic look, and of course the marquee, which has become part of the local landscape and photographed regularly as part of the heart and soul of New Canaan, obviously sitting on the 50-yard line of Elm Street. As an example, the New Canaanite has even used it as part of their landing page since Mike Dinan launched the site back in January of 2014, when the movies Blended and Disney's Maleficent, I don't even know how to pronounce that, debuted at the time. The confidence that the Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance, and Town Council have shown in Cinema Labs and their ownership team speaks volumes. And while there is risk in real estate deals, this team has a proven track record, and these boards collectively worked researching and drilling down to the details and brought a sense of confidence and comfort that allows us to move forward. In addition, the local investment team led by Nick Howard will provide additional local level of participation and really have a skin in the game. Many of the group has lived in town for a long time and are aware of the family-oriented community that is New Canaan. We consider our youth and education as our largest and most important industry, and the theater will appeal to all age groups and be open to this and all members of our community and be completely inclusive. Thinking about the potential of having date nights for seniors, empty nesters, young parents who need to get out for a break, or my favorite, the original teens on their first date in downtown is an incredibly and exciting opportunity. Many have worked hard to get this done and need to be recognized. Kevin Moynihan first, obviously. Board of Finance, Michael Chen had a lot to do with getting this done. Thank you, Michael. Town staffers, Bill Osman, Tiger Mann, and Kelly Lenz, and of course, Tucker Murphy, the fairy godmother who is always present. She spent countless hours coordinating the meetings with Cinema Labs in the town. Also, our town attorney, Nick Belmonte, who crafted the language of the lease. Thank you, Nick. It takes a team to get this stuff done and pushed over the goal line. We had many meetings about this. Just congratulations to all involved. Our theater will be turning 100 next year, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate the centennial than the grand reopening. I look forward to seeing everybody there. Thank you all. Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Mike, all in favor.
Authority.
Thank you all.
Right.
Nice job.
I'm gonna go pick up my daughter from the theater.